So I've been messing with this for a while. I realized that the reason it was revving so high was because of the governor not being adjusted right anymore. Because we've actually freed up a restriction on the engine by getting it to flow fuel better. I'm just gonna start it in low speed. Starts right up. But you can still hear the knocking, and it's not even been running for very long. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put that back together, and we'll go ahead and take that exhaust off and clean it, and actually take a good look into the cylinder itself and see if the issue is really carbon buildup and I have to tear the whole thing apart. Alrighty, well, it certainly has been a few days, excuse me, and the shop has only gotten dirtier. The floor is definitely messy in here, but that's not really the point. Let's zoom out a little bit. Anyways, so I'm gonna work on removing the muffler. I've already got the bolts out, so let's go ahead and take this off here. I already blew the area out with the air compressor, so hopefully that'll work out. We're gonna clean the muffler today. Alrighty. Ooh. There you go. Check that out. That is caked, and I mean caked with carbon. So, and this is actually pretty heavy, and I think the reason it's heavy is because of all that carbon. Yeah, that's a lot of carbon in there. Now let's take a look at the port. Oh look, you can see the cylinder, or you can see the piston in there. That exhaust port is full of carbon. It's very carboned up. You can see the little piston in there though. I'm not sure if this port is supposed to be shaped like that or if it's supposed to be fully round. I'm assuming it's flat like that on purpose though. Looks like the piston doesn't have much scoring on it, which isn't good, which is very good. Let's see if we can move it a little bit. Butter. You can just see that piston moving. Oh, there it is. On the downstroke here. I can feel the suction, so it is definitely making some good compression here. Rings look good. Let's see, all the way down. There we go. Now we can really look into the cylinder, and you can see. Let's see. There's a good amount of oil all around the cylinder walls. From what I can see, I can't really see the cylinder head, but I can see that the cylinder walls are not scored like at all, which is really good. Oh, you can't see that, which is really good. My concern is getting all this carbon buildup off and not scratching the piston. They say to use a wooden stick, so that's what I'll use. And hopefully I don't need a new gasket, because I would have to wait a very long time if this began to have an exhaust leak. So that would suck, but there's nothing I can do if it begins to have an exhaust leak. So yeah, so let's take a look at the piston. Oh yeah, it is clogged up. So I'm not sure what my first action is going to be when it comes to this. So I'm going to take off the little cage thing, and I guess I'll start addressing it from there. But dang, this thing is just absolutely caked. I should be able to get it cleaned a little bit. I mean, anything's better than that. I haven't ordered the jet yet, so just cleaning the carbon buildup actually might fix the problem. Because if the exhaust is not able to escape, then the engine can't draw in enough fuel because of the vacuum that it causes from the exhaust gases escaping. Let's get going with this. So, first thing I'm thinking is take this little guard off, this little shield. So, it's like a heat shield to keep you from touching the muffler, which is a good idea. So there's a Phillips here, Phillips here. They're cutting trees down next door to me. Oh, nice snap out of him. So, there's going to be a lot of noise. Hopefully that's not too loud, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, there's going to be... Oh, there's already carbon breaking off of this thing. I haven't even started yet. Let's see if we can... Uh-oh. Oh, no. It feels gummy. Ooh. I don't have an impact driver, so... How am I going to deal with this? Let me pause for a moment as I get a hammer. Alright, so I have a hammer. Get that a little tap. Oh, wow. That was on there. I hope you saw that. That was a good crack, but dang. It's been a long time since I've had to screw that tight before. So I bet you it's rusty. Oh yeah. You can't see it. There we go. Yep, that'll be why. I didn't use any penetrating oil because I wanted to try first without it. Yeah, that was on there. We separated this. And yeah. So now I guess I can focus on getting the carbon out of that. So let me pause while I go and get the other things that I'm going to need, and I'll be right back. We'll see where we get with that. See if I'm doing anything. There's just so much shadows going on. Okay. Well, that is actually looking okay. Just like I thought, though. It does curve. So let's go ahead and... That did chip off, actually. There it goes. Get that. Because there's actually down the pipe. It's not actually horrible. Like, there is definitely carbon in there, but it's not as bad as it is up in the very front for some reason. Just started to collect there, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna try my best to just keep chipping off this little crown at the front that's kind of blocking the hole. I have actually chipped out quite a bit, actually, so that's good. You guys probably can't hear a word I'm saying because it's so dang loud out here, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. They're cutting the trees when they want to cut the trees. I'm gonna try to secure this a little bit better, but I really don't want to squeeze it too hard and accidentally damage it. So they do sell mufflers for this thing. The problem is that they're over $200 new, and a used one would probably have the same problems as this one, where it's just full of carbon buildup and I'd have to clean it all over again. So that's not really something I want to do. And yeah. For any of you who have done this before, any tips you've got on cleaning carbon buildup out of mufflers is gladly appreciated, so that the next time I come across this in my lifetime, I'll be able to deal with it a little bit better. That is not coming off there, and it will not probably ever come off of there. I'm going to go ahead and reshape my stick really quick and just carve a new point on it. Okay. There's our new end. I like how I can just keep doing that, but let's try to get this off just using a sharper point. That's just breaking it immediately. Let's just get it over with and hit it. Oh, that's not doing any good. Screwdriver again? Let's see. Well, kind of. You know, I'm wearing safety glasses on my shirt. I should probably wear them on my eyes. That would probably be helpful, so we'll do that. They are very dirty. Hold on, we'll go ahead and empty this really quick. Nothing has come out. Like, nothing has come out. So, I think it went in a different area in the muffler, so I'm just gonna see if I can shake it out. Yeah, there we go. I think it went all the way to the other side. I'm sorry you can't see. Oh, there it goes. Just give it a little tappy tap. And, I dropped it into the bin. Okay, well, I think that's pretty good. Got some of the carbon out of there. Still not great, but you know, it is what it is. Like, I know you can't see it, but I'm trying my best. Curious to see what putting some lacquer thinner on there actually does for me. Alrighty. That's not very secured, but I don't want to squish it too much because, like I said, I don't want to damage this thing. So let's do what we need to do. Oh, my stick is just not having it. But it is better than nothing, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you what, it is certainly better than nothing. Get this all cleaned up. We'll use the lacquer thinner on it. There's no skimping out on that, but I definitely wanted to kind of clean it up as much as I could before I had to use that, because then it should be able to get into that carbon buildup that I can't really get into, and it should be good to go. Here we see the lawnmower in its natural habitat, awaiting to strike any grass that comes in its way. It prepares to receive its bag. Alright guys, I put a new jet in the carburetor that is the lower or the high or the low altitude jet to see if that does any difference. They look the same, so I'm hoping that they are, because that at least eliminates the problem. But it's a nice new jet, so I won't ever have to worry about that again. I also got a new little gasket for the carburetor because this one was leaking really bad. So here's the mower. And I have it apart right now. As you can see, everything is all cleaned out here. I'm still cleaning it. I just put some oil in the intake just to clean it up a little bit. It looked like it was needing that, but if you can see the piston in there, it looks really good. You can see the oil on it. Here. Sorry about this. Yeah, there's the piston. So, everything looks pretty good in there. But as you can see, the fins on the heatsink are kind of clogged up here. There was a heat shield right there for the carburetor, and that's all clogged up. So I'm gonna cover up the intake and see if I can clean that out. And I'm also gonna take off the exhaust and look to see, but I don't think, I may actually go ahead and take off the whole engine shroud and just see if I can clean all the gunk out of there, because that will help the engine cool better. But there's that, and I took off the spark plug to look at it, and I looked down the cylinder, and the spark plug looks a lot better. So I mean, it's still it's kind of a lighter color, but it's more what it should be. So I actually don't know if the jet is actually going to do me any good, but it's there anyways. So yeah, I just also cleaned the filter box, and I'll be straight up honest with you guys. Something stupid happened is I ordered, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I ordered a new air filter. This is oily. I need to clean up the oil. But anyways, I bought this air filter because the old one was kind of trashed, and I just threw it into the lawnmower not thinking about oiling it. I think I oiled it too much this time, but I forgot to put oil in it, and I went to see how the air filter was doing, and when I took it out of the box, you could just see dust. This was just filled with dust, and that was really bad. So I'm really hoping that it's not hurt the engine, but it seems like there were such fine particles that I think it'll be okay, especially after looking at the cylinder walls and not seeing any scoring whatsoever. I think it will be alright. But yeah, that was kind of a stupid mistake on my end. Cool. Alright, so the exhaust is off. I've got it to bottom. Oops, my phone's oily. Bottom dead center. And if you look in there, if I can just barely focus, there's not, for me, it looks pretty clean. I don't see anything that's indicating deep scoring or anything like that. It just looks normal to me. And you can see the port's a little bit, it's got a little bit of sludge in there, but it's nothing to be worried about. And of course right here you can kind of see the buildup around the heatsink fins. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the whole shroud off and just try to blow it out, because that looks like it is a little bit dirty all around. So we'll clean that off, and hopefully that will help with cooling a little bit. But inside, the piston looks fantastic, actually. It was really dirty before I started running it on this new oil that I started using. It's Lucas synthetic, and it's pretty good stuff. It actually cleaned out the cylinder quite a bit. Let's see if we can see the head at all. Nope, we can't really see the head, but that's okay. So yeah, it's actually not bad. I mean, I cleaned the exhaust, and I tried to clean the port the best I could. If we look at the exhaust, you can see those holes that were in there were completely plugged up, and it looks like there's a few things trying to clog it up again, so I may just try to knock those out. But it was completely plugged up. Those holes were just completely filled with carbon. And then if you look around the entrance, there's a little bit of buildup. I may just take a paper towel and just wipe it off. And yeah, so, but that's not bad, actually. That looks much better than I was expecting, considering I accidentally ran it with half a filter. But yeah, the engine actually looks okay. It looks really not that dirty, actually. I've tried to get in here when I clean it the best I can, but you know, look at that. I mean, it's not that bad. So I'll just stuff this side with a paper towel again. I'll move it up to top dead center, so that the piston is blocking the port. And yeah, but I mean, looking in there, it's actually not bad. Now, this thing looks tiny. I'm gonna put the spark plug back in before I blow it out. That's a good thing to make sure I do. We'll just thread that puppy. Alright, that looks good. That's about what I expected. Cleaner. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it certainly is cleaner than it was. I need to figure out how to get underneath there a little bit better, but, you know, better than it was. This side's all done too. It's a little bit dirtier because I can't really get my fingers in there, but it's better than it was, and we're about ready to put everything back together. It's the next day, but I figured I'd do a quick walk around. She's all put back together, all except for that broken cable. But I have to work today, so now that it's not 104 degrees outside, that's what I'll be doing. Pretty sweet. Looks a lot better than it did, that's for sure. Alright. Well guys, I have good news and bad news about the lawnmower. The good news is that it ran pretty well. The engine seems to be not running as hot, which is a good thing. And it seems to have just as much power and performance as it should. The bad news is that it's still making whatever sound it is making, knocking, pinging, but it took a lot longer to get to that point where it was making that sound, and I am starting to think that it's not combustion related at all. When I had the shroud off, let me flip the camera really quick. The engine shroud off, I could see there was just a little bit of damage on the flywheel from, by the looks of it, a screw. So I'm starting to think, what if the sound that I'm hearing is the flywheel hitting something? So I'm just gonna zoom out more. I'm not exactly sure if that's the case or not, but I can't wrap my head around any other issues that this mower could have. And the engine is running so well that I don't really think that I need to do anything else with it. It may just be something that I have to live with. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't seem to affect the performance or do anything out of the ordinary other than that sound. But I mean, it's quieter. It's just weird. It's just weird. I think the jet has helped in other ways. Now you can see when it is running normally, there's a little bit more exhaust smoke because of the richer jet. So I know that the jet is the right jet for it, because it's doing that, and I'm not going to switch back to the high altitude jet because I believe that it's better to run slightly rich than slightly lean. So that's what I will do, is I will just keep the jet as it is. There's no need to get into that carburetor again. So I really don't know. I don't know if it's a mechanical problem. I don't know if I'm hearing things. I don't think I am. It could very well just be a vibration somewhere, that something is just vibrating and making a very distinct sound. I'm not exactly sure. However, I do know that even if all of this was for nothing, it wasn't for nothing. And I know it's kind of funny to say that, but it truly has been a good experience. Because I've learned a lot. Sorry, there's bugs all flying on me. I've learned a lot from this, and I gotta say, this engine is running better than it ever has, as long as it's been in my possession, at least. And the mower's performing awesome. The only complaint I have, obviously, is that this throttle cable, or not throttle cable, this drive cable is broken, but that will be replaced.